Okay, understandably, I get a lot of questions about the build and the part spec of my Poseidon X. So, to keep things simple and all in one place, I'm gonna answer all those questions right here, right now. And to make things even better, if there's only one part about this thing that you wanna know about, I'm gonna break it down in chapters below so you can just literally click to the timestamp that you wanna be at, find out what you want, and beeline it out of here. And included with each of those time codes, I'm gonna list every single part that is used in case you can't decipher it in the way that I explain it in this video. It's gonna be written there. There's gonna be a link. You'll be able to go and actually have a look at every part that is on this thing. Some of those will be affiliate links, so if you purchase through those, there will be some kickback to the channel, and I really appreciate it. But if you don't need any bike parts, you could always go to spindatt.com and buy a sticker that looks like this logo behind me, or one that looks like a beer can, and geez, I'll draw you a picture and send it in the envelope, and thank you for your support. Okay, let's get into this. If you watch every video that I post, you already know everything about this. Just skip this one. So first and foremost, I would like to say I don't work for Poseidon. I work with them on like shooting videos and sharing their products. I don't know anything about like shipping. I don't know anything about availability. I just happen to be lucky enough to have one of each of the bikes that they make right now by being a cycling YouTuber. That is the extent that I can help you when it comes to like actually getting a hold of one yourself. Sorry. Okay, so actually jumping into the bike now, the Frameset. Mine is the 2018-2019 first edition iteration of the Poseidon X. Basically what that means is it's the same frame that you can buy these days, but it has the early edition carbon legged fork with alloy steerer. When you buy the new one now, it comes with a full carbon fork, but all of the geometries and the clearances are the same. Which seems like a good segue into the most requested question and answer about my Poseidon X. Of course, it's published that the Poseidon X only has clearance up to 40mm tires. On my X, of course, is above the recommended maximum tire size, Riddler 700 by 45s. They are mounted tubeless onto Velocity Blunt SS's, which are laced to Shimano SLX hubs. So that is a 45mm wide tire on a 30mm wide rim. So that's a fairly wide rim, wider than you would see on most gravel bikes, because these are indeed cross-country mountain bike rims. So if you're wondering if these 45 Riddlers on the stock wheels will fit, I would say they'll fit even better than what these do with these wide rims, because the narrower stock rim is actually going to take that tire profile and bring it in a little bit. You'll probably have more space than even what I have. Tread and sidewall and everything fits perfectly fine. In the fork, the little like rubber nubs, they do rub on the fork legs. For the rear, I did have to re-dish slightly to the drive side to keep the non-drive side from rubbing on the non-drive side chainstay. Though from that moment when I put these on a year and a half, almost like 2 years ago, there has been no rubbing problems. There has been no material taken away because of too big a tire rubbing anywhere that it should not be rubbing. Okay, to get wheels and tires going, you got to use Drivetrain to do it, so let's talk about that next. This bike has gone through a couple of different Drivetrain variations, but we've since settled on the Ultegra 11-speed hydraulic setup that's on here now. So it is Shimano R8000 level Ultegra 11-speed non-clutch rear derailleur. I do indeed have it set up as a 2x. I don't ever plan on actually changing that. I like having a bike around that has a front derailleur for some reason. I'm gonna try and do this by memory because I hate looking up Shimano numbers, but it's like Shimano R8020 levers, Shimano R8000 derailleurs, 11-speed SRAM chain actually, and an 11 through to 32 cassette. Chainring sizes is 46-34. I actually have the small ring off of a compact road chain set instead of your traditional cyclocross gearing that's 46-36. It's 4634. Those are bolted onto FSA Gossamer 386 Evo bottom bracket, like 30 mil spindle FSA Gossamers. Cranks on this bike are really, really difficult because the chainstays are quite bulbous and wide, because this bike can be set up as 12 by 142 through axle or 10 by 135 quick release. So to get that to work, you can change out the dropouts here. They sell a kit that you can do that with. And also to get the tire clearance, the chainstays are actually out quite far. So a lot of times some chain sets do want to smack the chainstays. And there's been a few that I've had on that have been worse than others. These Gossamers, with a little bit of messing around, have kind of been the best option. The drive side has all sorts of clearance. The non-drive side, I actually have a cassette spacer between the wavy washer and the crank arm to give it a little bit more space so that it doesn't hit the chainstay on the non-drive side. I put some Loctite on the threads and tightened it down. I've had no problems with it since, and it has not hit, so I'm calling that a win. If there's anything that I would love for the team at Poseidon to be able to do with the X, it's try and do something with their chainstays to make road cranksets across the board fit a little bit better than they do. I definitely think it could be done, and it'd be a nice improvement over some of the annoyingness that is installing cranks on this bike. I'm just gonna throw the brakes into this category as well because we just talked about the shifters, but I have R505 calipers, BH90 hoses set up to these R8000 level levers. They do not work as good as they should, and I think it's just me performing bad brake bleed. I think less importantly, and most people are hardly concerned about it, but handlebars and stem, they are 3T Ergosum handlebars. They're 42 centimeters wide. The stem is a 60 millimeter Truvative mountain bike stem. And then even less importantly, the seat post is from my Schwinn Vantage, and the saddle is a carbon specialized Romin. I understand there's probably nobody here that is at all concerned whatsoever about the handlebar, stem, seat post, or seat on this bike. It's mostly all tire questions. Okay, that's it. I hope that answers a lot of the questions that I get a lot of. When I get questions from here forth, I'm probably just going to reply with a link to this video. So if you received a link to this video from me, thanks for watching it, and thanks for your questions. Sorry I didn't take time to write it all out to you. I've done it too many times now. Is there like any other bikes that you guys want to see this sort of breakdown done on? I'll do it again, I don't care. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to do it.